What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Daily Tactics here, and today we are back in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, but there's a brand new update which adds a D-Day map. This D-Day map was actually originally in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 1, however they remastered it for the second one and made it bigger and better than ever. So we've got LCVP Higgins boats landing here. We've got 5 million US soldiers that are going to be coming out of them and attacking the beaches, and here we go. They are emerging. What is... Did their heads get from really big to really small in a microsecond? Do you guys see that? That's very bizarre. Okay, either way, they're dropping onto the beaches here, which is defended by 1.25 million German army soldiers. Oh, we also have 1,000 Sherman tanks that are going to be landing on the beaches of D-Day as well. Now, the reason there's such few numbers of... What is this? What is this? I'm so confused. Okay, a few glitches on the new map, but we've got 1.25 million Germans, and the reason there's so few Germans compared to US soldiers is the fact that they're in a defensive position here, fighting trickling in World War II soldiers. One thing I do have to say is I wish they had added back the artillery on this map. In the previous version of this map, artillery would constantly hit the beaches and it would be kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. And on top of that, in the old map, the beach was far shorter. I think it would be a little bit more interesting if it was a smaller beach, because I wanted to have the Germans in the bunkers back here, obviously, but the US spawns all the way back this way, and the Germans just simply can't shoot them for a very long time there, which can be a bit annoying. So we have about 100,000 Germans holding the beach itself. Then we've got the rest of them back here, as well as an attacking force of Germans that are going to be coming in as reinforcements, and as you can see here, they've almost reached the beach, which should be pretty interesting as well. I'm super stoked for this. If you guys are enjoying these videos, please be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. We're trying to reach 500K. And comment down below what else you'd like to see. The game actually also added T-Rexes, so that's going to be pretty awesome too. I'm very excited to see what the T-Rexes are like and stuff like that. But yeah, there's just a ton of fun we're going to be able to have with this new update in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. Right now, the Germans are defending pretty wholeheartedly here against some of these, I don't know, are these tank traps? I'm not entirely sure what to call these, but some sort of sea obstacle thing, and they are on guard mode for the start of this battle, and you can pretty easily see that they are on guard mode because they come forward just a little bit against the attacking American U.S. Army forces here, which the U.S. forces are getting pretty much chopped to bits right now by the German Kar-98Ks, and that does make a lot of sense because the Kar-98Ks have much higher range, much higher accuracy, and much higher damage output than the US weapons. And actually right now, the German soldiers have killed 75,000 Americans, and the Americans have killed 30,000 German soldiers. So the Germans are outpacing them by quite a bit, but here comes a number of Sherman tanks coming up the beach as well, which could be deadly towards the German army here. But we've got the reinforcements for the Germans coming out as well, so you know, both sides are going to be getting reinforcements. Both sides are going to be buffing their lines. It should be pretty interesting to see right here on this battlefield. And look at this. Look how expansive this is. Look how massive of a D-Day battle this is. We do, by the way, have experimental blood on for this battle, which can result in pools of it forming, and it can actually drown soldiers and stuff like that. I don't know how effective it will be on this map since it's a relatively flat map and there aren't very many valleys for it to pool up in, but it could be interesting to see if it has any sort of effects. Either way, I want to see what it looks like from one of these bunkers. Okay, so there are just soldiers running through the bunkers. Oh, you can't even really like plop yourself in the bunkers. It doesn't let you go in them. Aw, and I tried to spawn soldiers in the bunkers as well, by the way, but it seems like that did not work. Apparently these bunkers are non-inhabitable. That's kind of a bummer. It was cool in the first one how you could inhabit the bunkers and things like that with soldiers. I thought that was pretty neat, but I guess in this one, no dice, it's not possible. Yeah, none of these bunkers up here are inhabitable, but I think the ones down below might be. Oh, I can't go in them, and it seems like the soldiers, some of them are stopping in them, but not really all that many, so I'm not totally sure what's going on with them either. Right now, the Germans are down to 1 million soldiers remaining, and the U.S. forces are down to 4.3 million soldiers remaining. So, despite it saying that the Germans only have gotten 300,000 kills, apparently 700,000 Americans have died. I don't know if maybe the boats are glitching and somehow resulting in more deaths for the Americans or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but oh yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of blood popping out of them back here when they get out every once in a while, so maybe some are dying from that? I'm not entirely sure how on this map more Americans are dying, but they are apparently. And it is resulting in a very bloody beach battle of Normandy here, with both sides taking immense losses, and the Führer's Atlantic Wall is crumbling. Erwin Rommel was right. We should have left the panzers closer, boys. We should have left them closer. Either way, more and more German reinforcements are arriving on the battlefield here to help try and stop the U.S. attack, and it seems like they are managing to amass soldiers a little bit better than the U.S. are. Their lines are definitely thicker than the U.S., so they're getting more soldiers in there faster, and they're also managing to keep their soldiers on the battlefield and not die as much. Over here where all of the Shermans are, I tried to spread the Shermans out across the landing crafts, but apparently they all concentrated straight down the middle, and over here is probably where the Americans are doing the best. The German lines over this way are fairly thin. You can see these Germans are exploding every which way in that as the battle goes on here, but they are starting to get some kills on these Sherman tanks. The Shermans are fighting against bullets, which, you know, in real life would probably not do any damage to these. They'd just dink off of them, but in this game, you know, they have to be killable somehow. I'm still waiting for that day when the Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 update comes out with a Tiger tank. That's all I want to see, is a freaking Tiger tank in this game. Ugh. That would be a magical, magical day indeed. Either way, this middle section is certainly having some trouble because of the Shermans, but the other parts of the German defense seem to be holding out pretty staunchly against the Americans. Specifically over here, they've just got a very large number of troopers fighting. Why don't we go ahead and do a little bit of time-lapse over the entirety of this D-Day map here, and we'll check out what ends up going on. Right now, 740,000 Germans remain and 3.9 million Americans remain. Let's get into this time lapse. So that might actually be the only time lapse we get to do today, because this battle is cruising right now. The U.S. soldiers only have 2.8 million left, and the Germans only have 250,000 left. However, these are probably going to be the most stubborn 250,000 Germans that the U.S. have ever had to fight, because they are going to be the boys up top here in the bunker areas, in various different bunker areas holding out, unless those all died already? They didn't spawn in? I had a ton of Germans spawn up here. Did they move forward? Were they accidentally on attack? I could have sworn I had them on hold move mode, but maybe they were on guard mode or attack mode like the boys down below. Oh, here's a bunch that stayed put. Maybe I accidentally put them all on guard mode. Oh, rip. Well, that's okay. We still have a bunch of them up here that are going to be pretty stubborn in these bunkers and things like that. As you can see, a lot of these U.S. soldiers are coming up towards the bunkers here, and they have to go up and over in order to attack, which is going to end up resulting in some pretty meaty losses for basically the U.S. soldiers here. The Germans should be able to just fire downwards and, you know, cut them off as they come on up here, except a bunch of them are running on forward, which does kind of defeat the purpose of that, but it is what it is. You can't control these boys. They're going to do as they want. We do have some pooling of the blood up over here, which I don't think is high enough to really kill any of them, but you know, it is interesting to see at the very least. These Germans holding these bunkers over here pretty staunchly, but Americans are coming up over the top very hard, very fast, and getting a number of kills on them. These guys probably don't have too long to live, but at the very least they can get some more kills before they end up going down. Is that it for German defenses up top here? These are US soldiers. It seems like there was a German holdout up here, but they all ended up dying. So yeah, maybe some soldiers did stay put like I told them to. These are US soldiers as well. So yeah, it seems like the US have cleared out a number of these bunkers and are now converging on these German soldiers up here, as well as I think the Germans basically won this battle over this way. Maybe? Yeah, these are all Germans left alive over here, and they also have some holdouts up top as well. So it's basically the right side of the battlefield where the Germans are putting all of their eggs in their basket right now and trying to fight this one out and trying to get a victory here. But they're down to 129,000. The Americans are down to 2.4 million, so half of the American force has been completely wiped off of the face of the earth, which is incredibly impressive from this German defense, especially considering those Shermans and things like that. This is almost like real D-Day, you know, horrible losses for the Allied forces, the Americans, the Canadians, the British, all involved in this assault, even a few New Zealanders in there and stuff like that. Horrible, horrible losses, but they still do end up getting a victory, a Pyrrhic victory, but a victory nonetheless, and gain themselves a foothold into Fortress Europe, which, you know, it's kind of cool to see that happening in this battle where it's sort of the same thing, you know, a very staunch holdout for the start, but the Germans inevitably end up getting whittled down by the oncoming Americans. I guess we do have time for one more time lapse here. We could watch the sort of final German stand over here. This is where I think the majority of the 100,000 soldiers of theirs are left alive. So why don't we go ahead and watch them slowly get suffocated by just tons and tons and tons of American soldiers surrounding them. Also, be sure to keep a lookout at the top right where you can see the troops remaining for both sides. Team 1 is the Americans, Team 2 are the Germans there. So let's start the time lapse. Alrighty then, gamers, after that time lapse there are apparently 2 Germans left alive somewhere. I have no idea where. The Americans are like chasing this way. Oh, there is a couple Shermans left alive. Interesting. I have a feeling they're glitched somewhere and that's why they're not dying. Oh wait, there's a bunch of fire over here. I bet they're glitched over here. But the Americans only have 1.26 million soldiers left alive. Oh, check this out. Wow. 1.26 million. They lost almost 4 million soldiers. Oh yeah, there's a couple glitched Germans over here. Don't worry, boys. You'll get that kraut one of these days. Either way, guys, that's going to be the end of the video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Please be sure to hit that like button if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.